And ma'am, the state has calculated child support at $444. Are you in agreement with that?
Um, I'm trying to appeal that decision because I don't want child support at all. We will agree to the back payment in 2014 when we was young and we went into court and we got a letter and they say come into court. So we just anything dealing with court, we went being young and we wasn't told at the moment of signing that paper of our decision. So again, it's like we didn't really have a clue if we was agreeing to child support from the first beginning.
What's good, YouTube? This is KB LaFleur. You can call me KB. Welcome back to another video, man. We got something pretty good today, man. We got this sister trying to take her baby father off of child support. Hey, that's crazy, right? We have a woman in court. I'm talking about in court with her baby father. And she's saying, hey, man, listen, we don't need I don't need child support anymore. I say that back. Ain't no we. I don't need child support. But then again, there is a we because the judge and the government gets paid off of child support. They get paid off of the money that the man gives to the judge and to the women. But for the most part, man, got this woman up here saying, man, listen, I don't want to be on child support anymore. And the sad thing about it is she's saying, I don't even know if I can appeal it. That is crazy. Right? That is crazy, man, that we can sit up here and we can tell people, hey, you need to get on child support, get on child support, get on child support. It's easy to get on child support, but it's hard for the same person who said, let's put them on child support. It's hard to get them off because now the government and the judge is saying, hold on now, ho. I didn't think y'all was going to amend your relationship. Now, listen, I get it. You don't want the money anymore, but Uncle Sam, we do, right? We do. So the fact that she even says that, I don't even know if I can even appeal this. It's mighty wild. Now, this is on TikTok, and I definitely will leave the link to the person who is posting this. Her name is Yasmin or Yasmina, I believe. I'm not sure, but I definitely will leave the link to her TikTok down below. Now, this is making use of TikTok. This is what I'm talking about, right? But let's go ahead, man, and see how this is going to play out.
And ma'am, the state has calculated child support at $444. Are you in agreement with that?
Um, I'm trying to appeal that decision because I don't want child support at all. We will agree to the back payment in 2014 when we was young and we went into court and we got a letter and they say come into court. So we just anything dealing with court, we went being young and we wasn't told at the moment of signing that paper of our decision. So again, it's like we didn't really have a clue if we was agreeing to child support from the first beginning. But I am trying to appeal that support as of now because I don't want support for Kedron. He helps with his children.
Ma'am, would you object to the medical support at 133 for the cost of Medicaid since your child is currently enrolled in Medicaid?
Yes, ma'am. They're currently enrolled in Medicaid. Soon as we find a provider, we will show proof. Mrs. Elsa stated for us to do. Um, but again, until we find it, hopefully it will be removed once I show proof.
Ma'am, do you have insurance available through your employer?
I do. I have to check on it, what they will have available to give to the children. I didn't have them on my job insurance.
What's the cost?
That's the problem. I need to check with them and see what the cost is going to be and what they will provide to the children.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And ma'am, you understand that the state, since you don't have an insurance right now, we're asking that as of, that the children continue on Medicaid. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
And as far as the arrears, you have agreed to a release, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand whatever amount is released today, if the judge grants it, that the OAG will not assist you in the future in recuperating that.
Yes, ma'am.
After release, the amount of child support would be $7,609 as of 9/18/2024, and we're asking that that be paid off at $88 per month. Are you in agreement to that?
Yes, ma'am, because I don't have another way to appeal it because it was from 2014 when we went inside the court. So I don't know if I can appeal it or what to do with that balance because Mrs. Elsa stated we signed the paper, but again, we was just doing what the letters say to do. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
So I mean, what y'all tell me what y'all think, right? Y'all tell me what y'all think. As she stated, she said, "Man, listen, we were young when we signed this. We were young when we signed this." Now, as I stated before, I don't like this idea that a lot of people like to use. Oh, well, I was young, I was dumb, I was this, I was that, I was. A lot of people at the ages of 16, I would say 14, they know right from wrong. Do you know everything? No, you don't. You don't even know half of what life has to offer to you. But at the end of the day, you still know right from wrong, right? You still know right from wrong. But in this situation, she was saying, man, listen, we were young, right? We were young and we didn't know what we were signing. And you could tell, you could just look at them and tell they didn't know what the hell they were signing when they were young. So, of course, that was an easy come up for the government. That was an easy come up for the government. Now that they're a little bit older and now that they said, you know what? Hey, man, listen, the guy says, hey, listen, it is what it is. I want to be with you. I want to be with you. We got a kid together. I'm in a different headspace now. This and the third. We all grow, do we not? Yes. So it should be easy. It should be easy for that judge to say, you know, okay, fine, then it is what it is. Let me go ahead and appeal it. But they're not. Right? They're not. They're not going to appeal it. And shout out to this brother right here because once again, he drops some facts. He drops some pretty good facts, but he makes a great point about how this court system is. The court system has an incentive to get women to be single mothers. They have an incentive to drive themselves to the court so they can put the man on child support so they can get some money.
Child support actually told on themselves. They say that it's in the best interest of the child, but they were getting sued by these 5 women in Arizona because their children were receiving public assistance and they went after the fathers for child support. The money that they were collecting, the women were only getting a small portion of it. So they sued child support and said, hey, y'all keeping all our money. Child support said, no. Child support was never intended to benefit the child nor the custodial parent. The Supreme Court agreed. It's a historic case law. It's called Blessing versus Freestone, where child support told on themselves and said that it was never intended to benefit the child nor the custodial parent. It was intended to benefit the state because the states receive an incentive. They get a kickback based on their performance of collecting child support, putting people on child support, the arrears that they collect. Is it 42 USC 658A, the incentive payments? They receive over $500 million a year annually, just in bonuses. This ain't got nothing to do with nothing, just based on your performance. This is not my opinion, this is fact.
So many women response will probably be, well, that only happens in Arizona. That's over there in Arizona. In my state, the government is not doing that. They're not going to. Listen, as we stated before, as he stated, if the money, right, because so many women say that the money's supposed to be benefiting the child, which it doesn't. Even he says it. Even the government says it, that hey, it doesn't benefit you or the child, right? It's really supposed to be money in our pocket, right? But it gets money in your pocket as well, so don't complain. But if it's to benefit the children, they're saying that it doesn't benefit the children. Let me ask all this, right? We do understand that 2-parent households make up most of your children who are on the path of greatness. The percentage of the kids who fail in life come from your single parent household. So you mean to tell me that you have 2 parents right here who are saying, you know what? Okay, we're putting our childish ways behind and we're coming together, right? We're coming together. We might struggle a little bit, but hey, it is what it is. We're coming together to fix whatever we got going on. So now my son or daughter has a higher chance of becoming successful in life. You mean to tell me that, hey, well, listen, I still got to come up with money. Now I'm still losing money, even though, yeah, the money can go to the government. Half of that is going to only go to the woman, and she's going to give you half back. That's ridiculous. So not only is the guy paying taxes, he's just paying the government just so the government can give the money back to the woman, or give half of that back to the woman. But once again, this is supposed to benefit the children, and we have two parents who saying, well, listen, hey, guess what? We're just going to go ahead and be together. There's no reason to continue to have this child support. Let's go ahead and knock it all off. And they're probably going to use, well, because your child isn't even on Medicaid, how much are we going to pay for that? Well, we'll figure out a way. Nah, that ain't good enough for us. We're going to keep this man on child support. Now you locked in there, right? Now you locked in. And this is why a lot of women need to understand the importance of marriage, right? But also understand the importance of how the system does not care for you, right? The same women, man, who sit up here and bash men are the same ones who will sit over here and get effed over by the system and then turn around and blame the system and then get upset with men and want to use the argument because they don't want to be held accountable. Why y'all getting on us? Y'all need to be getting on the government. The government is this, the government is that. Well, once again, you are helping the government. You are the reason why we're even in this situation. It's sad, right? It's sad that these two parents can get together and they said, hey, well, listen, we're going to go ahead and make a change, right? Let us figure it out, because it's no different than any other relationship out here, any other average relationship out here, any other young relationship out here. People or couples who have children and they still have to figure it out and they're barely making ends meet. It's no different. Right? It's no different. So this is where they're going to be able to use the plausible deniability that, hey, well, listen, hey, we got to keep you on child support, because who's going to pay for the insurance? You don't even know how much the insurance costs. Right? And once again, that's why I say, let them figure it out. Right? Let them figure it out. But you just can't see hold me. Right? Y'all know what the see hold, right? For other words, it's husbands who sit in the corner while they watch a woman get plowed. All they're doing is just holding him in a position to where he just has to pay. He has no choice, right? He has no choice, even though both of them agreed to say, hey, well, listen, I don't want it. It only takes one person to agree to put the man on, but it takes damn near the whole wide world to get that same person off of it. That's crazy. It takes only one person to say, this man needs to be on child support. All right, let's get the ball rolling. Then, hey, well, we don't need to put this man on child support. Let me go ahead and find the smallest issue that I have with y'all when it comes down to your children. If y'all ain't even got that smallest issue, y'all ain't got one. If y'all got one issue with being able to raise that child, we're going to keep you on child support, which that's what they're doing. Now, going back to the comment where somebody says, so she wants the taxpayer to pay for her kids, but not the dad. Now, this is where it goes on to some of your people, man, who are having to use government assistance and all of that extra stuff. I say that's a whole different conversation. That's going to go into a whole different thing, right? But for the most part, man, we're talking about a man and a woman who's saying we're going to come together. We're going to make sure that these people are straight. Now we can sit up here and say, hey, well, listen, we're going to have the taxpayers pay this. But once again, this is where you got to become real well versed with some of this stuff. I mean, what is it like after that? Like, I'm pretty sure I believe that they would have to pay that $7,000 if I'm not mistaken, right? So and then you're talking about future payments. Once again, now, like I said, it comes to a whole different conversation on, well, we still got to pay for it and this, that, and the third. It's a whole different conversation. But for the most part, right now, these two people want to be together. And they're willing to change. They're willing to say, hey, well, listen, we're about to change the statistic. My son and my daughter ain't about to be a statistic. They ain't about to be a degenerate. Then someone else says, oh, sneaky. They are still a couple trying to play the state. She don't want him to pay because she is on welfare and the state will get some of it. Now, once again, I don't think it's being sneaky. I think people can come together. As she said, well, I was young. We just can't be genuine about it. We have to say, hey, well, listen, you know, she's trying to get over, she's trying to do this, she's trying to do that. Now, she already is getting over by being on assistance, right? Government assistance, and they probably going to stay on that. Who knows? But for the most part, she's saying, I don't want this, right? We don't need this. We're going to find it. We're going to figure it out ourselves. That's what I'm getting from this video. We don't need your government assistance, because if I never came to you in the first place, I probably wouldn't be in most of this right now. I probably still would be on government assistance, but for the most part, we wouldn't have to be dealing with a lot of this stuff, right? But hey, right? But somehow, somewhere, we got to make sure that the man stays on child support, right? Crazy. Then someone else says the court specifically The family court judges gets kickbacks. Single parenting and women without men are pushed so they can make more money. So y'all guys, let me know down below. How do y'all feel about this, man? This is mighty crazy to me, but I mean, hey, you know, it is what it is. I love doing these court videos. I would definitely leave link down to this sister's page so y'all can go ahead and go check out her whole page. She got nothing but court cases, so I definitely will be checking that page out. So do me a huge favor, let me like, let me comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how y'all feel in the comments down below.